Hopefully my internet. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Monday night, 6 p.m. Dissecting the Quran show. We got Paul, we got Larry, we got Darcy, and we got Radical. Go Red 2024. And we're picking up on what was the chapter? Oh, chapter of the parties.
Yes.
But we didn't see any parties yet. So we're going to pick up there and let's have an intro first. Okay, what happened to my intro? There's... Okay. Okay, add to stream. Okay, let's get the show on the road. Let's bring it up. Okay, what happened?
You're here.
Oh, okay. I got to add to the stream.
Yes.
There we go. All right. We are on the chapter of the parties. So there are multiple parties, and we're on 53. What does 53 say?
You know, this header really bothers me. You think about Aisha married. I mean, she's the marriage is. She's physically married to. She's married from the age of 6, but you marry a 6-year-old, and you're forbidding that even that child to remarry after his death. I mean, that just it's like destroying their possible lives of a 6-year-old.
Now, Paul, do you really think that Aisha at 18, she just decided to be a widow for the rest of her life? I don't think so.
Well, I mean,
now,
she doesn't have a choice.
The other ones, I mean, unless the Muslims were going to kill her for it. I mean, first of all, I'm honestly starting to believe that none of those people exist. No Abu Bakr, no Aisha, none of those people were just made up into the story. I'd like to go
but if we accept that they exist, we have to at least say that this is cruel and unusual punishment.
Oh yeah,
for somebody. Now, I mean, it's not even. I mean, that's the cruel. The real cool thing is he's punishing his wives after he dies. Even with. I mean, what's he saying? You were stupid for marrying me. I mean, yeah.
I mean, could you imagine any other prophets of God who said, "Hey, when I die, you gals can't marry anybody else now, okay? I'm going to be looking at you from upstairs."
You know, my mother used to say, you know, if I die before your dad, you got to make sure he marries again because he'll need help.
You know, as men, we're not capable without a good woman next to us.
You know, I would agree with that, unfortunately.
Huh?
I would agree with that in most cases.
Yeah. All right, so 53. Let's get the show on the road because there's only 20 more verses. Okay, 53. Oh, you who have believed. Okay. Now, I don't know about you, Paul, but I have a problem every time I read the "Oh, you who have believed."
They stop believing.
Yeah. Or it's people that, yeah, that's the only conclusion that you can come to, is that these people stop believing.
Or did they ever believe in Allah's trying to trick him into thinking that they're actually believing?
I mean, I don't know, Larry. It's a good thing. I mean, I've been puzzled by this. And I think if I look at the other translations, they don't say have believed.
Oh, wait a minute. This is even funnier, this passage. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
This is the passage where Aisha truly is telling who she has that great recall of Allah does whatever Muhammad wants.
Yeah. Okay, so
I
all
mean, I
you
know that's the hadith, but it's
yeah.
shown right here. This just makes me laugh whenever I read this passage.
O you who have believed, do not enter the houses of the prophet. Whoa, this guy's got a lot of houses, and they tell me that Muhammad was poor. I mean, I don't even have a house. This guy's got houses and wives, except when it is permitted for you for a meal, but not waiting while it is being prepared. So you stay outside the door, and when the meal is done, we will call you in and say your seat is now available. But if you were invited, well, why would you go into the guy's house without being invited? This makes no sense. But if you were invited, so enter. So when you have eaten, so get out of the house, so depart. So you basically just came there to eat and didn't leave. That's okay with me. I have no problem with that.
Muhammad just wanted more time to have sex with his wives, is what it really came down to.
Yeah.
And he called on Allah and said, hey, and can you change this for me? Get those guys out of my house. I want to go have sex. I mean, that's exactly what. I mean, we're not making this up, by the way. It's in the hadith.
I mean, he's probably saying, look, Allah, I got like 9-11 wives. If these guys don't go, I'm not going to have enough time to do my 10 seconds with each one of them.
That might be the case, but I think he's afraid of what they're going to ask him.
Yeah, probably.
I just think he's a rude house guest, and just doesn't want to deal with people. Like Larry said, yeah, bad host, not house guest. He's a bad host.
My understanding is that he was too shy to tell the people, hey, listen, it's getting late. Can you get the hell out of my house? Okay.
Yeah, but Allah's not shy. Allah's not shy.
Yeah, Allah's not shy. But if you were invited, so enter. So when you have eaten, so depart, and do not engage in familiar conversation. Okay, so what am I supposed to engage in? Unfamiliar conversation? Surely this would harm the prophet. Oh my God, conversation is going to harm the prophet. So he would be shy of you. And Allah is not shy of the truth.
I think this is where Rad is right. This conversation was too dangerous to the prophet because it might betray that he doesn't have the intelligence to respond to them.
True. Oh, and by the way, somebody had mentioned I am going back through the shows and I'm putting episode 1, episode 2, so people can get an idea which shows we're on, because some of them I have, I've got the information, some of them I don't. So that's the best
I'll go
that
back
I can
eventually, and I'll start giving you the times for them all.
That's the best that I can do. Okay, so he would be shy of you. First of all, that doesn't make sense. You ended the period.
Well, that would make sense if Muhammad doesn't want to answer.
No. I'm just looking at the sentence structure. I don't think there should be a period here, but that's okay. So he would be shy of you. So okay, so you go into his house if you're invited. You go in, you sit down, you have a meal, then you get the hell out. You're not supposed to engage in familiar conversation because that's going to harm the prophet. Why? Because he's shy and he won't be able to have a conversation with you. But Allah is not shy of the truth, so Allah is going to give you the stupid verse. And when you would ask for anything from them, what's 20? His wives. Ooh, what are we asking the wives for? So ask them from behind a veil. So if you want to ask them anything, you're free tonight because, Muhammad's not looking like he's very sexy tonight. Come meet me in the back. This will be purer for your hearts and for their hearts. And you must not harm the messenger of Allah, nor have sex with his wives after him forever.
So this is like the after him is not after he's already had sex with them. It's after he's
you
gone.
Want to talk about, like you said, you want to talk about punishment, cruel and unusual punishment for his wives, especially Aisha, who was 18 when he died. Okay, I'm pretty sure she had some little side honeys on the side.
It's supposed to be. People forget that this time period, if you didn't have a spouse, you didn't have food coming in. Forget money. You had no income, but there's no food.
I think what happened was all his companions, whatever, the Ummah, were supposed to support these women, all 9, 11 of them.
Yeah, and the catch is, do they really want to? Or do they,
yeah.
It's just like, it's just wrong no matter how it sounds. I'm sorry.
And here's the problem that you can see that Muslim males are chauvinistic. No, she did not die at 19, Darcy. She lived on, according to the hadith. She was, unless she became a scholar in 1 year, no, she lived on into a good old age. Yes. Now, here's the problem that I have. Muslims say, women have to be supported by men. That's kind of degrading to a woman, especially nowadays. I mean, there are plenty of women who make more money than the men. So why is it automatically imply that women need a man? That's sexist right there. I think Mo died when she was 18. Yes, according to the numerous hadiths.
According to Aisha herself,
she was 18 when he died. That's why it also contradicts the fact that she was 18 when she got married. Well, yes. How the hell can you marry a dead guy?
How can you be married for 9 years when he dies? She dies when he dies when she's 18, but they were married for 9 years, and I'm sorry, the marriage was consummated when she was 9.
Right. So
actually, we got to add 3 more years on there.
Right. So she was 9 years with him after
9 plus 3, 12.
Yeah. After I was going to say after the Kachiga, plus the 3, so basically 12. Okay, this is just wrong. Surely this is a great.
Hang on, I got 2 comments or questions about what we just read. Number 1, I mean, yes, this is a benefit to Muhammad, but this is on the eternal tablets of Allah in heaven that you can't have sex with the prophet's wives. Completely stupid.
Yeah, again, I don't buy that whole thing because it's sensical to think that Allah will have a tablet that already knows that Muhammad's going to marry all these women and that they're not going to be able to marry because what is it saying? Surely this is a great offense with Allah. I'm sorry. What kind of freaking God gives a crap about your wives? You're dead.
Well, exactly. Yeah, this is the carnal mind. This is human flesh.
This says that Muhammad is Allah to me.
Yeah. And
I mean, that pretty much says it. The only one that could be offended wouldn't be God. It wouldn't be another man. It would be Muhammad.
I mean, seriously, God is offended if you die and your wife's remarry. This is the same crap that I ask Muslims. Seriously, your God is he's so concerned as to how do you go to the bathroom with which foot, which hand do you hold your pecker and make sure you swing it 3 times. Seriously, is this God's? No, I'm sorry. No. I didn't call you. We don't have any Muslims. You must have heard the name Aisha.
Hey, sorry, I got one more comment.
Go ahead.
Who is wearing the veils up and was that 53?
Yeah, they're not wearing veils. That's the thing to understand, that these are curtains, these veils.
Right. So she has to be behind a curtain so you can speak to them.
Okay, so basically that's so that people don't get turned on from Muhammad's wives, right?
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know.
Maybe it's to avoid their ugliness or to avoid their prettiness. I don't know.
You've got to go to Rob Christian, and he's got, I think, 1 or 2 videos. They're animated, and it deals with the Muhammad and the adopted son. And let me tell you, she's hot. Hey, Paul, can you continue reading? Because I think I'm burning my meatloaf.
Okay, so here we go. 54. If you show anything, if you show anything, or if you hide it, so surely Allah was the knower of all things.
So what is that about? Is that
what are we showing?
Well, is that them showing affection for his wives?
Again, it's not clear. I mean, if you're showing affection, okay, let's see if there's anything in the follow-up for the next verse. No sin will be on them in their fathers or to their sons or to their brothers or to their brothers' sons or their sisters' sons or their women or to what their... We don't know what the heck they were just talking about. No sin will be on them in their fathers or to their sons or to their brothers. We don't know what this sin was. This is incredibly unclear. I mean,
this is one of the problems with the Quran. You never know. And
we don't know what they're showing, but I mean, if it's I think you're right. I think it was probably affection or another perverted thing. And I hope it's not, but and fear Allah. Allah likes fear. Surely Allah was a witness over all things. Oh, so Allah was. He was. He's no longer.
Right. Okay, so
he's a pervert. I'm sorry.
Let me get this straight. No sin will be on them. That means the wives, right? And their fathers or and their sons.
Or to their
sons. Okay, so I guess if they see you naked.
But we don't know that this... Okay, here's the problem with the word them. We don't know if this is talking about the guys who may show anything. We don't know if this is talking... There's no direction as to who the them is.
I mean, I would say it's the wives because it was talking about veiling. Okay.
But no, because before.
Yeah.
Okay. If you show anything or if you hide it. So he's talking to the men. All right. So he's just talking to the men. Now he's saying no sin will be on them in their fathers or to their sons. So
what does that even mean? No sin will be on them in their fathers.
That's what I'm getting at. I mean, we don't know. That's why we don't know who this is about. I mean, that's what it comes down to. We don't know what the sin is because they were showing affection. I mean,
or was Muhammad's
messenger again? All these two verses, this 53 and 54, are to the men who are interested in Momo's wives.
Right.
So,
or is Momo's wives showing a little bit of leg? Could this be about the wives?
There's nothing that indicates that. I mean, no sin will be on them in their father. Why would a sin go to their father? I mean, or to their sons, or to their brothers, or to there's nothing.
Well, it can't be Mo's wives because they don't have no sons or brothers. Well, they might have brothers, but they don't have no sons.
That's right.
Now, guys, have you noticed that?
So it cannot be Muhammad's. This cannot at all be about Muhammad's wives.
Right. Now, well, clearly, because here's a big problem. Have you noticed that it's talking in the past tense? Allah was the knower of all things. Allah was a witness over all things. So if this is supposed to be, Allah talking to Muhammad, which means it's in the present tense, why is Allah saying perhaps?
Where we get perhaps again. I'm sorry, missing that.
I
don't see perhaps there.
Yeah, well, no, it's not perhaps. Surely Allah. Okay, no, but I'm just saying that those are some of the examples.
Oh, surely is pretty much perhaps.
Yeah. But my thing is, why is he talking in the past tense? Like, okay, Allah's not the knower of all things now. Did he give that up?
So, and you must not. Yeah, well, see, this is that second language. Arabic is a second language issue. Tense doesn't. People learning second languages don't always get the tense correct.
Right.
And that's, again, that's what this is to me. Whenever I see that mess up.
Let me double check on that website. Islam. What verse is this? 30.
We are on 55. No sin.
Chapter 32, right? Or is it chapter 33?
33.
Chapter 33. Yes, chapter 33. Because 32 doesn't have 55 verses.
Let me see. I've got. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to take a look and see if I can find my Ibn Kathir.
Why is this going so slow? Welcome, Sharon.
Welcome.
Oh, yeah, it is. Welcome to the show. I guess we're gonna have to make you
my critical
yes.
Quran says Allah is a witness over all things.
Yeah, but let's see. There is no blame upon them concerning their fathers and not their sons and not their brothers. And fear Allah. Allah is over all things.
It says, indeed, Allah is always the witness over all things.
Yeah, see, that would make sense. So I don't know why. See, I'm not an Arabic speaker. Okay.
The translation I got is from Robert Spencer.
The one I have, Jalalain says it is what it also is, but again, I don't think that's the real issue. It's the one here is I can credit that past tense and stuff like that is to Arabic as a second language.
Yeah, but even Prophet Google says God is over all things. So I don't know maybe if that was a mistake, but I noticed that
Google corrects stuff, so you can't
I noticed that a lot of this stuff, because I think you probably remember when we first started doing this.
Yeah,
I had a big problem when it says was believers,
and
I'm like, shouldn't it say is believers or are believers or something? But okay.
No sin will be on them, or 55. It says in John Lane, believing, okay, male or female, if any of the people see them and speak to them without a screen, with respect to what he commands. So if anybody speaks without the screen, that's what it's supposed to be about.
Okay, let's move on.
So that's what the sin has to be. It's speaking to the wise without a screen.
I could have sworn we did this one before earlier, but that's okay.
All right.
Yeah, this is 3356. Surely Allah and his angels pray on the prophet. I thought it was for the prophet, but again, I'm not an Arabic speaker, so I'm not gonna, All you who have believed, pray on him and saluting. I always got to make sure you get that saluting in there. Surely those who harm Allah and his messenger. Guys, how do you harm God?
Well, if God is Muhammad, that makes sense.
I mean, God is not even in the area for you to even be able to harm him. So,
well, I mean, if this is the only thing, I can see Muhammad saying, "Well, if you harm me, you're harming Allah." I mean, I could see Muhammad doing that, but yeah.
See, in this translation, it says, "Indeed, those who annoy Allah." I'm not sure. I mean, and I'm not going to go do a word for word search right now. Okay, surely those who harm Allah and his messenger, Allah will curse them in this world and in the hereafter, and he has prepared for them a shameful torment.
Oh, he might be proclaiming good news any second now.
I know. And those who harm the believing men and the believing women without what they earned, I don't know what that means. So indeed, they bear slander and a clear sin. Oops, I'm running out of juice.
Those who harm the believing men and the believing women without, we don't know what this. I mean, this gets said all the time, without what they earned. I mean, it really doesn't make any sense. So indeed, they bear slander and a clear sin. We don't know what the sin is. Those who harm the believing men. I guess if you're harming somebody who's a follower of Islam, that's a clear sin. I mean, drop without what they earned, and it might make more sense, but yeah.
All right. All Muslim women must be entirely covered so that they will not be known. Wow. Well, if you're entirely covered, that means even your eyes are covered. This is not a hijab. This is a burqa. According to Muslim scholars' interpretation, the true hijab is a full cover for the woman's body except for a small hole in the front of one eye. Not two eyes, but one eye. So you're going to be, one-eyed garbage bag walking down the street. And ladies and gentlemen, by the way, this is not a decree or a revelation from Allah. This was actually a suggestion from Muhammad's companion, the pervert Umar.
And it says, see Ibn Kathir, Al-Jalalain, and Qartobi, and Tabari.
Yeah. Oh, you prophets, say to your wives and to your daughters and the women of the believers, let down their jalabib. 21. Wrappers, large outer coverings worn by women, non-Arabic word of Ethiopian origin. Over them, from the top of their head, covering them entirety. And that in this way they will be known, meaning people will know that they are believers, believing Muslim women, rather than the prostitute or the infidel. Because if you look like a garbage bag, you're a Muslima. And Allah was forgiving, merciful.
Wait.
Yeah, it's good.
You missed the most important part there.
Yes, for sure.
I skipped the
what
part?
Happened here? I think I jumped ahead a little bit. All right. Okay, the part here that's the most important. So that they will not be harmed. Wait a minute.
Harmed
so
by
they wear this burqa so they won't get raped or molested, at the very least. That's the whole purpose. Because it's a symbol. So if you are a Muslim, if you are a non-Muslim living in an Islamic area, they have a right to rape you if you're not wearing the hijab. That is what they're saying.
That's because that's because
they want to be able to rape the slaves.
Yeah, Muslims can't control their little peckers.
Well,
I mean, could you imagine if they went
to expect? I mean, that's why you got to have those women covered.
If they ever went to South Beach in Miami, oh my goodness, they would.
You should look up sexual assault and rape in Mecca and the Hajj, dude. It's a real thing.
Oh yeah,
it's a real thing.
If the hypocrite Muslims do not repent to Islam, they must be killed. Ooh, okay. What happened to no compulsion? That went out the window.
Well,
if the hypocrite,
we're into Yathrib, so things change.
Yeah. If the hypocrites and those who have a disease in their heart and the agitators in the city do not desist, we will surely arouse you against. What is it with the rouse? To invade. We will surely arouse you to invade them. Okay. I'm telling you, man, Allah is a pervert. Arouse.
I'll
entered into
being
you.
Aroused.
I know. Then they will not be your neighbors in it except for a little while. Yeah, of course.
Because you're going to steal their property.
They are cursed wherever they are caught, seized and killed, slaughtering. Okay.
So basically, this blows the whole theory that Muslims have to be attacked before they fight.
Oh, wait a minute. Were you in that room today? I was like, oh God, I'm at work. I want to get up on stage and just slap that idiot around. They must think that we're fools, that we don't understand the Quran. Yeah, 929. Yeah, it's about the people that were attacking the poor little Muslims.
Yeah, where's the word attack? There's anything there that says anything.
What is the command that was given to Muhammad? I don't see it say fight those who attack you. No, it says fight everyone until they believe in Allah and you as a messenger. That's the qualifier. If you don't believe in Allah, then you're supposed to be fought and killed or, subjugated and paid the jizya. Yeah, it's all bullcrap. And look at this.
And this is the hypocrites. We're only talking about the hypocrites. We're not talking about the non-Muslims We're talking about the people who are lukewarm.
It's talking about the hypocrites and the agitators. Now, who would be the agitators? And what qualifies as an agitator? I guarantee you, if I was one of these Muslims and I was going around saying, oh, you know, man, Muhammad had sex with a little 6-year-old, I would be considered an agitator. They are cursed wherever they are caught, seized, and killed and slaughtered. That doesn't sound like, no compulsion. The custom of Allah for those who have gone before, and you will not find any changing to the custom of Allah. But we don't know what the custom of Allah is. And this is an improper sentence here structure. Anyway,
custom
63.
Of Allah for those who have gone before. We don't know what Allah's custom is, and you will not find any changing. You can't. This is so unclear because nobody tells us what the custom of Allah is.
People ask you of the hour. Say, surely its knowledge is only with Allah, and you will not know. Perhaps the hour is near. Okay.
What are they asking? Asking you what? Hey, do you know what time it is? Only Allah knows.
You know, I think they're trying to copy where, Jesus is asked about the hour, and he says, where
is
only
it
the
that?
Father knows and so forth. I think they're taking a stab at Jesus right here.
Or are they asking about what hour they're going to attack and start?
That's a good question too.
That would work, but
yeah,
even to say that, which here's another problem. It's a good point, Larry. So people ask what time of day it is, or when we're going to attack. Oh, only when Allah tells us. Really? So I can go take an hour nap, so I can be ready and refreshed? No. You can't take that hour nap. You just gotta stand ready. So you don't know when you don't have a plan, is what you're telling us, right? Yeah, that's Allah. He doesn't have a plan.
Well, and again, this reaffirms that if this is what this means, that they're not being attacked, that this is a purely offensive war.
Yes, that would actually work with that. Yes.
Actually, what I see is war. What I'm reading is war. Maybe it's too much military in me, but to me, it's like they're using. This is their tactics of war.
So people ask you of the hour. So we're talking again. Do you think we're talking about the time of the attack?
Well, yeah, because he's talking about if we go over to 60, if the hypocrites and those who have a disease in their heart and the agitators of the city do not desist, we will surely arouse you to invade them. Then they will not be your neighbors, and it except for a little while. Yeah, because you're going to kill them. They are cursed wherever they are caught, seized and killed, slaughtering. The custom of Allah for those who have gone before, and you will not find any change in the custom.
So the custom is killing those who are hypocrites.
Yeah, and I guess the hour, they're not asking about the hour of like Judgment Day, but probably
when are we going to go take that invasion?
Probably like Larry and
Sharon.
Sharon said, hold on a second, I just lost my screen.
Surely its knowledge is only with Allah, and then you will know perhaps the hour. I think Larry and Sharon are right. This is all about a military attack.
Surely Allah has cursed the infidels and prepared for them a blaze. They will abide in it forever and ever. Well, I think that's a little redundant because forever is forever. They will not find a friend or a helper. But what if they have a lot of their friends in hell? A day their faces will be turned over in the fire. Oh, you're going to be on one of those barbecue spits or whatever, and you're going to be roasted. They're going to be turning you around, make sure you're evenly roasted.
You're on that spit. Yeah, let me turn that spit a little bit. Turn you over.
Turn me over. I'm getting too hot on this side. The left side's a little roasty. Can I get the right side? A day their faces will be turned over in the fire. They will say, "Oh, that we would have obeyed Allah and obeyed the messenger."
So and Allah has a partner again.
And they said, "Who's they? Our Lord, surely we." Okay, I guess these are the believers. These are the unbelievers. And then 67 is the believers. And they said, our Lord, surely we obeyed our masters and our great ones. Maybe it's not. So they led us astray from the way. Okay, it's still the same people that are in the fire. Our Lord, give them a double of the torment and curse them a big curse.
Is he going to talk about good news again?
Yeah. Oh, you who have believed, do not be like those who harmed Moses. Do we recall anybody harming Moses?
I don't remember seeing. I mean, they've talked about some stuff, but I mean,
was Moses harmed in the Bible?
Not that I've seen.
Yeah.
Well,
maybe it's one of those fake stories they gave. Those fake scriptures that they bought.
Yeah, I don't think he was. I don't think so. I mean, in the chapters that we've read, I don't recall Moses being harmed. But Allah declared him innocent from what they said, and he was honorable with Allah. But what did they say? So now it's almost like they're saying that Moses was accused of something, but Allah is saying he was innocent. Kind of like when the little red velvet or whatever disappeared, Allah had to say, no, it's not Muhammad. He would never do that. Don't look under his pillow. You won't find it there. Okay, fear Allah and say right words. Okay, he will fix your deeds for you. So if your deeds are crooked, he's going to fix them for you. And
he's got a deal. This is the kind of guy you want to fix your tickets.
Hey, sounds like a mechanic. You just bring your car in here. We're going to fix that car for you, damn. And forgive you.
I thought Allah didn't deal with sin. I mean,
maybe he's on a holiday or something. He will fix your deeds for you. I'm not quite sure what that means. How do you fix somebody's deeds? And forgive you of your sins. Okay. And whoever obeys Allah and his messenger, notice that Allah is attached to the hip of his messenger. So indeed he triumphs a great triumph. Okay.
I mean, this messenger is a partner. I mean, maybe that's why he's not having sex.
Now this one
he's got a male he's got a male partner. I mean, maybe that's not why he's not having children. I mean,
this one's kind of stupid, but then again, we're talking about the Quran. Surely we offered the trust to the heavens and the earth and the mountains, so they all refused to carry it. What?
So wait a minute. So somebody tell me what did you give the heavens? I mean, that it was heavy enough that what are you giving?
So Allah offered the trust to the heavens and the earth and the mountains, so they all refused to carry it. Wait, Allah wanted the heavens and the earth and the mountains to carry something for him?
Is this Allah that's speaking? Is this Momo? I mean, I don't know.
I got no clue. This is the good part of the Quran. I mean, this could be Santa Claus speaking for all I know. I mean, I have no clue.
Well, read the next sentence.
Regardless, Paul, this is the speech of Allah. So Allah is still saying this stuff, regardless if it's not him speaking or if it's him paraphrasing or, recollecting something. It's his speech. He is saying all of this.
You know what they're saying? Jalalain says it's speaking of the prayers that are offered.
Okay.
We offered the trust.
Let's change that and say prayers. Surely we offered prayers to the heaven and the earth and the mountains, so they all refused to carry it. Or so they all refused to pray it. So the mountains and the heavens and the earth gave Allah the finger and said, man, we ain't praying your prayer.
Well,
but it can't be humans, because the next sentence says, yet the humans carried it.
What did they carry?
My book says the obedience of created things to the heavens and earth and the mountains, but they refused it. Man took it, but performed badly. So now Allah must punish the hypocrites and unbelievers. I'll tell you the truth, it doesn't make sense.
Okay, 71.
Okay, I think the actual word is trust, because I mean that's just as bland as it all is. It doesn't. I think Robert Spencer, when we've gone a
Robert is not doing a word for word.
Yeah, we've done that a couple comparisons, and it's not word for word, but
I'm looking at the word for word, and it says, "Indeed, we offered the trust to the heavens," exactly as Osama has it. But they refused to bear it, and they feared from it. But bore it man. Indeed, he was unjust, ignorant. So who was ignorant? If the men bore it, I mean, this is just a mumble jumble. I mean, I have no idea.
We don't know. I mean, if it's the prayers, and the heavens and the earth and the mountains are, so were they praying to the earth and the mountains? I mean, it's supposed to be. And Jalalain says it was prayers to Allah. So why are the heaven, the moon, earth, and the moon, and the mountains involved in prayers to Allah?
I mean, I don't see any prayer. Let me go look and see. Okay, let's go. Okay, Muhammad Assad said it is no sin. Okay, wait a minute.
Jalalain says the prayers. Actually, it doesn't say prayers to Allah, but
what number was this again? 72.
72.
It sounds like they're telling us that the heavens and the earth and the mountains have a brain and they can refuse things or accept things.
Yeah, well, it sounds to me more like the actions of a polytheistic people. I mean, that's what this sounds like. So if you have people offering prayer, if they're offering, or I mean, you have faith, like animism. People who will give prayers to the heavens, the earth, and the mountains. They believe that everything has a spirit. That would make sense. And if they don't respond, it's all about religiosity, I guess is the best I can say.
Yeah, see, Spencer's making up his own crap, because I'm looking at over 40 translations from Islam Awakened for that particular verse. Just about every single one that I've seen uses the word, "We offered the trust to the heavens." I mean, just about every single one of them uses the word trust, not prayer, not, even the ones that are not, non-Muslims or Orientalists or non-approved, every single one of them says trust. I mean, if you go to Yusuf Ali, "We did indeed offer to trust." Pickthall, "Lo, we offer to trust." Muhammad Assad, "We did offer to trust." The Clear Quran, "We offer to trust." Safi Kaskas, "We offer to trust." Wahuduni Khan, "We offer to trust." Sakir, "We offer to trust." Dr. Lale Bakhtiar, "We offer to trust." T.B. Irvin, "We offer to trust." Everybody says trust. So, I mean, I like Robert Spencer, but his Quran is all whacked.
Well, that was just an explanation of 72.
Okay, so he's kind of doing like a tafsir.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because the tafsir would be an explanation of the clear and detailed verses that you find in the Quran. That's why you have to go to Jalalain and figure out, what the hell is this guy talking about? Okay, so they all refused to carry and they were afraid. Okay, 73. That Allah might torment. Okay, I was going to say, surely he was unjust, ignorant. Who's he? Are we talking about the he that says he will fix your deeds for you and forgive you? I mean, I don't know. 73. That Allah might torment the hypocritical men and the hypocritical women, and the polytheistic men and the polytheistic women, and Allah will relent on the believing men and the believing women, and Allah was forgiving and merciful.
Paul dropped. You can share my screen if you want.
Oh, Paul dropped. Okay, he'll be back. Somebody's back at the screen. Dr. Kufa. Internet went down at the That's not it. Let me get that out of here. Paul says he lost his internet. Remove from here. Okay, you're going to have to blow that up so we can see it. Okay, that's I give it another. I have mine at 175.
I'm at 175 now.
You are? Yeah, okay, yours you can go to 200. Okay, yeah. On my end, once 175 is it. If I do 200, it goes off the screen because my monitor, or I should say my laptop, is smaller than the one that I typically use. Okay, so we're on the next chapter. So now we are at the end of this chapter. Look at all the words and the meanings that don't make sense. We are now in the chapter of Sheba.
Sheba.
That must be a story about Sheba. Oh, Paul's back. Let me add him. Okay. Just in case.
Back.
Well, put Paul back on so he can highlight.
Okay. I'm going to have to go see where Andrew Martin's channel is so I can see that, or his website. All right, hold on a second. I got to go to the next chapter, chapter 35, so I can look at how many. Oh, there's only 6 words. Okay, chapter 34, Sheba. I love the person who came up with these titles. The praise be to Allah, to whom what is in the heavens and what is on the earth, and to him the praise in the hereafter. And he is the wise, the aware. Okay. See, I'm telling you, the guy's perverted. He knows what penetrates into the earth and what comes out of it, and what descends from the heaven and what ascends into it. So why is Allah here saying the heavens, but then here he goes back to a singular? I thought it was heavens. So which heaven is this? Number 1, number 2, number 6, number 7? And I don't know what ascends us into heaven. Oh, must be talking about Muhammad and his donkey. And he is the merciful, the forgiving. And those who became infidels said, the hour will not come to us. Say yes, I swear by my Lord, and it will surely come to you, the knower of the unseen. The weight of an atom will not escape him. I don't think that word means atom. I mean, how would they know atom? Allah doesn't. Okay, now how stupid is this? Just listen to this. Adam, Allah knows what happened. Okay, he took it off. So Allah knows the word atom. Oh, okay. Allah knows the word atom, which didn't exist in the 7th century. But when it comes to embryology, he's lost. I mean, Andrew, small ant. That's what I thought it was. It's a small ant. I don't understand where they got atom from.
I would say in Hebrew, it's not unusual to see an and at the beginning.
Oh, but I have a question about the word atom, A-T-O-M. Okay. Did they know about that word in the 20th century? The beginning of the 20th century?
I think they did.
Yeah, because that's when the Quran was really, this version of the Quran.
1924. I think by then they knew.
Yeah. Because the earlier Qurans, they were all messed up. None of them match, you know.
Yeah. Well, and this again, it solidifies my point. How did Allah know to use the word atom, but when it comes to like embryology and other terms, he doesn't know?
He didn't know.
Where are we exactly? I'm sorry.
We are sort of like, I'd say the middle of verse 3. You see where it says say? We're on the next chapter. Are you on the right chapter?
We're on 3.
Yeah, I don't think praise be to. Well, yeah, Sheba. It looks like
Surah 34. I'm going to mute myself.
I think he's in there because it starts off with the praise. Oh, there you go. Say. Okay, yeah, say. All right, so but it's I was finishing up, but I'll go back. Say, yes, I swear by my Lord, it will surely come to you, the knower of the unseen. The weight of an atom will not escape him in the heavens or in the earth, or smaller than that or bigger. I mean, okay, except in a clear book. Okay, please, give me this clear book, that he may reward those who believed and did the good deeds. Those will have forgiveness and a generous provision. And those who strive in our verses, hindering, those will have a torment.
What are these striving? I mean, strive in our verses. I mean, hindering those who have. I mean, are they talking about people like us who sit there and go, "Oh my God, this is ridiculous"? I mean, is that us that they're talking about?
I thought striving in Allah's verses would be a good thing, but then he jumps from those who strive in our verses, hindering, those will have a torment and a painful wrath.
I think it's people who are actually reading and saying this doesn't, or listening and saying this doesn't make any sense. Why do we even trust this guy? He does. I mean, it's because the hand puppet keeps coming out saying, "Hey, Allah's going to get you."
I think the problem is that part of this verse belongs to something else, and the other part belongs to something else. That's why together it's not making sense. And those to whom knowledge has been given, see that what has been sent down to you from your Lord is the truth, and guides to the way of the deer, the prey. Oh, now we're back to the deer. Okay. And those who became infidels said, shall we point you to a man who will inform you? If you have been ripped ever ripping, what the hell does that mean? What does that mean?
You have been ripped ever ripping.
If you have been ripped ever ripping, surely then you will become a new creation.
Well, clearly, this is another miracle of the Quran. This is clearly talking about exercise, getting ripped, ripping, yeah. You know what I mean? Clearly.
Okay. Those who became infidels, shall we point you to a guy who will inform you how to work out?
Maybe he's talking about if you do Allah's workout, you'll become ripped. Okay, but say to those who disbelieve, shall we direct you to a man? Indeed, you surely. Okay. Okay.
I want to ask this word for word. Is this the same in the word for word about ripped and ripping?
The word for word says, but say to those who believe, shall we direct you to a man who informs you when you have disintegrated and total disintegration? Indeed, you surely will be a creation new.
That doesn't make any sense either.
I know.
Okay, so if I'm going to try. Shall we point you to a guy who will inform you that if you have been disintegrated, if you have been torn apart, surely you will become a new creation.
I mean, I don't know.
So I think Allah is saying he can recreate you after you've been torn into dust.
I don't know. Okay, number 8. He has forged a lie against Allah, or in him is a jinn. Okay, so I don't know who this is.
Who's he?
I have no clue.
I mean, this is Allah not knowing again. He has forged a lie against Allah, or in him is a jinn. I mean,
okay, so these are the infidels speaking, and those who became infidels said. Okay, so I guess it continues. So I guess they're talking about
Muhammad. Talking about Muhammad.
Yeah, so they're saying Muhammad forged a lie against Allah, or maybe he's possessed by a demon.
Shall we point? So if this is the infidel speaking, shall we point you to a guy who will talk to you about? I mean, that if you get torn to pieces, you can become a new creation, and this guy had forged a lie against God, or in him Oh, so they're accusing Muhammad of being possessed of a devil.
Yeah. Yet those who do not believe in the hereafter are in the torment and in the far era. Have they not seen what is between their hands? I don't know. Right now, my hands, I got nothing between my hands. And what is behind them from the heaven and the earth? No, I don't understand what that means. If we willed, we could sink them down into the earth, or we could drop them on a portion of the heaven. What?
We could sink them into the earth, or we could. The problem is the word. I mean, I don't think Allah understands. This is worse than bad Arab. Worse than not knowing. I mean, knowing Arabic as a second language. So you sink somebody into the earth. I get that. Or we could drop them a portion. So he's gonna let the seven heavens slam down on you.
Yeah, but again, I don't think Allah understands that the heavens, they're not a solid material. There's nothing for you to drop. Now, he could drop the planets, he could drop meteors, he can drop the stars.
But that's not the heavens.
But you can't drop the heaven. The heaven is just a vastness of space.
It's too much for Allah.
Better, because according to Osama, the mountains speak and praise Allah. How does a mountain that is an inanimate object praise Allah? Okay, and indeed we gave David a bounty from us. O mountains, sing praises with him, and the birds, and we softened the iron to him that makes suitable coats of shard. It's supposed to mean chain link, chain mail.
So,
yeah, it's chain armor, which, by the way, didn't exist during the time of David. And measured the length and do a good deed. Surely I see what you do. You do. I don't. And to Solomon the wind. Okay, so he gave David chain link mail, which didn't exist, and to Solomon the wind. It's going a month and it's coming a month. What the hell does that mean?
Oh, I mean, I was going to say some bad comment, but that doesn't make any sense no matter how I look at it. I mean, it's Solomon gets, it's the wind, maybe he gets to fart, I was thinking, but it doesn't make any sense. It's going a month and coming a month.
I guess it takes a break between, so for 1 month, the wind is going.
You get some months where it's windy, and you get some months where it isn't. It's
well, I read this that the wind is going 1 month. So the wind is going away for 1 month, like it's going on vacation, and then it comes back for a month, and then it goes away for a month, and then it comes back for a month. I mean, Muslims, what kind of nonsense is this?
Okay, this is really, really sad because weather has patterns. Like where I live, where we get what's called the northwesterlies. All right, we expect the weather to come from the northwest. When it comes from a different direction, it's usually worse. That's the truth. It goes. We get where I live on the lake. If the storm comes from the south, it's already gone up past us and it's circling around. So that's why we know it's worse. But this doesn't. This shows Allah doesn't even understand the concept of weather.
Okay, so the wind goes for a month and comes back a month, and we made a fountain of molten brass to flow for him. Okay. And some of the jinn who work between his hands. What? This guy's got to be a big dude to have demons work between his hands. By the will of his Lord, and whoever of them deviated from our command, which we don't know what that is, we will cause him to taste the torment of the blaze. They made for him whatever he willed of synagogues and statues. But wait a minute. Statues are haram. You're not supposed to make statues.
They made for him.
That's number 2.
Whatever he willed.
Cisterns.
Who's he?
Solomon.
So they're picking on Solomon. So
Solomon
the statues.
So apparently the jinn and I guess the people that Solomon is over, they make for him synagogues and statues. But I thought statues were against.
Well, statue. You won't really find those in. This is just a really deep misunderstanding of Jewish law. I mean, yeah.
And deep dishes like number 2, like cisterns. Deep dishes.
Deep dish.
What did you
pizza.
say, Darcy?
The deep dish pizza.
Oh yes.
Yeah. But Osama says that word means cisterns.
So cisterns are places where water is held.
Yeah.
So you put these big, huge things out. Sometimes they're hewed into the ground to collect water.
And movable boiling pots. No, wait a minute. Okay, I mean, I ain't gonna go there.
Immovable. I think that's a problem there. I mean, if you can't. Wow.
Okay. Work, O family of David. Thankfully, and a few of my servants are the thankful. That doesn't make sense. But okay, so is David the one who's the king, or is Solomon?
Well,
here's a good
one. It's O family of David. So I mean, they're all the family of David. So Solomon is of the family of David.
Okay, I'll let that slide. Okay, Solomon. Now, this is funny, ladies and gentlemen. This is funny. If you have 2 brain cells, this will make you laugh. Even if you only have 2 brain cells. Solomon was dead and leaning on his staff for an entire year before anyone realized he was dead. Now, Solomon, according to the Quran...
Is that like us having a president who has dementia and nobody realizing it?
Solomon had at least 100 wives. You would think that one of his wives would say, hey, man, he hasn't come to bed in the whole year. What is up with that? So when we decreed the death on him, meaning Solomon, nothing showed them that he was dead, but a small creature of the earth that ate away his staff, which supported his corpse. So when he fell, the jinn perceived that. If they had known the unseen, they had not continued in this shameful torment.
That just is so ridiculous. I'm sorry. So
this dead
guy is leaning on a.
I mean, the guy is not moving.
Where did they get this crap from?
I mean, the guy did not move for a whole freaking year. That means he didn't piss, he didn't crap, he didn't eat, he didn't sleep. The man did nothing, and nobody noticed.
And he's standing up.
Yeah. Hey, this kind of reminds me of, what's that movie, Weekend at Bernie's?
You beat me to it, yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Yeah.
I mean, this is like...
Is this one of those scriptures they bought that they sold it to Muhammad to see how stupid he really was?
It must be, but just think about this. They believe in this crap. But man, they can't believe that God manifested himself and came down and became a man. No. But Solomon could be dead for a whole year and nobody notices. Okay.
Let's think about this. Now you have just think about your local family. You think about your own family. You got some guy who's a father of many children who had, and think maybe he had, and you can think about it, your husband or your wife, you can think about the respect, dies in your house.
Well, I mean, I'll give you
nobody knows it for a year.
I'll give you an example.
Would you think he would stink awful bad to begin with for quite a while?
I mean, my mother died in her chair, and they thought she fell asleep because she used to fall asleep.
No, I get that part. That makes sense,
right? But I'm telling you, they kind of knew that she was dead after a while. You know?
Yeah.
Especially not after a year. I'm pretty sure, like you said, in 2, 3, 4 days, that boy would be all swelled up from his insides, and he would be stinking. Because my understanding is Muhammad was stinking after 3 days. But then again, this is the miracle of Allah. He took away the stench.
Did you read the
Now it
comment
says-
by Marion?
I'm sorry?
Read Marion's comment, or I can do it.
Well, each wife had to wait for hundreds of days. Yeah, indeed. But he had the strength of, I guess, 100 men because he used to go through all 100 in one night. Now, mathematically, that's impossible unless you're the 10-second man. And all his wives, because he didn't say the prayer or inshallah or bismillah or whatever, Rahman, whatever, all his wives except one, they didn't get pregnant. And the one that got pregnant, she had a half a human. I guess she had a midget. That's the hadith for you. Because he didn't say if Allah wills, because he said, I'm going to have sex with all my wives, and each one of them is going to have a boy, so I can, increase my my jihadis. Okay, it was to Sheba. Okay, indeed, it was to Sheba, and their dwelling was a sign. Okay.
Wait. Are you saying Sheba and Solomon
Yes.
were married?
No, I don't think they're.
It says in their dwelling.
Yeah, well, see, the problem is that Allah doesn't know where this belongs because Solomon's been dead for a freaking year. And indeed, it was to Sheba in their dwelling. It seems like Solomon was married to Sheba.
Yeah, I don't think.
And their dwelling was a sign, 2 gardens on the right and the left. Eat from the provision of your Lord and give thanks to him, a good country and a forgiving Lord. What the hell does that mean? So
I think you could get rid of all of these little things like this, and you might have more sense in it, but eat from the provision of your Lord and give.
So they turned aside. Who's they? Oh, wait a minute. Man, Allah's, how many floods did Allah send? Because look, so they turned aside, so we sent on them the floods of Aram.
Who's this? Aram.
And we changed their 2 gardens into gardens of bitter fruit and tamarisk. I'm surprised he didn't. And if you sidrat, what is number 4? Nonsense word, which some Islamic scholars claims to be a tree in the garden. Okay. Okay, this is okay, but he flooded. What do you mean he flooded? He flooded the kingdom of the dwelling of Sheba, who had 2 gardens. This is their reward because of their infidelity.
Well, okay, so they got a flood. They got some bitter fruit. They had a tree.
And this is their reward because of their infidelity. And will we, I'm getting tongue tied. And will we, and will we, I can't get past that one.
Okay, so here's another word that Allah doesn't understand. He doesn't understand the concept of reward and punishment. He doesn't know the difference between reward and punishment. That's a scary, scary thing for a God not to know.
And will we reward any except the infidels? Okay, the infidels are going to get a reward. Now, what kind of reward is that?
Hey, you were smart. You left me.
Yeah. All right, 18. And we made between them and between the villages, which we have blessed in them, easily seen villages, and we measured the journey between them. What the hell?
We made between them and between the villages.
Walk it securely nights
What's this
and days.
Between? It's like he's got to keep between them, between villages, blessed in them, easily seen villages. We measured. It's like he's got to keep using the word between, like he thinks it's a pretty word.
Yeah, but this whole googly bosh doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
Walk it securely nights and days. Walk what? Walk between the villages? Between the people? Between Allah's brain? I don't know. So they said, who is they? Who the hell is he talking about? Our Lord, make the distance between our travels farther.
We're back to that word between.
Why would you say that? Why would you ask to make your travels longer? You'd want your travels to be shorter, guys, not longer.
Well, okay, if it's Muhammad we're talking about, he needs more time between his wives because that's all I can think of.
We're just trying to get away from him.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it's like, okay, they're all complaining at the same time. I need to get away. That's the only thing that makes sense to me.
Darcy in the back channel says, I have my tablet between my hands. Does that count? At least you got something between your hands. Hey, well, I mean, if I spread my hands apart, I do have 3 laptops between them. Since I have 2 laptops, and then I have my new laptop on top of my 2 old laptops. Okay, and they treated themselves unjustly. Okay, yeah, I mean, so we made them sayings. So we made them sayings, and we ripped them all ripping. There goes
so
that.
Wait a minute. We made them sayings, and we're back to ripping.
And we ripped them all ripping.
So these words that whoever we, so they, who is they? Are they the infidels or are they Allah speaking?
We have no idea.
So we made them sayings and we ripped it all up. So it wasn't worth anything they said wasn't worth it. They just tore it all up.
Oh, I thought they were going to the gym. No? Oh, so they're ripping something?
Yeah, I think somebody said something. So maybe before, this is the funny part. They ripped up the words before they got put down in print.
Surely, and this is a sign to be patient, thankful. Again, nonsense sentence. And indeed, the devil agreed with them in his thoughts. So they followed him, except a group of the believers. Well, I guess a lot of the believers said, you know what? I'm going with this guy over here. He's making more sense than that guy over there. And it was not for him to have authority over them, except we might know who will believe.
We don't know who him is here.
Well, and it was not for him to have authority, so over them, except we might know who will believe in the hereafter from him who doubts of it, and your Lord is keeper over all things. So Allah needs the devil to deceive people before he knows who's going to believe in him or in the hereafter. But isn't this the Almighty God's?
And it was
shouldn't
not.
All this stuff be? Shouldn't all
I
this
think
stuff
this is his
already be
attempt
known
to
to this guy?
play with the gospel words in the gospel, and he just can't get anything. It's such a gobbledygook. It doesn't. There's no clarity here. It would be one thing to say it's common language, but this doesn't make any sense.
No. All right, 22. Say, call on those whom you claim without Allah. They cannot possess even the weight of an atom. Here goes Adam again. In the heavens or on the earth. And they do not have any partnership in them. And he will not have a backer among them. Okay, so I guess he's talking about idols. Some will have intercession before Allah. And intercession with him will not profit except for those who receives permission until when at last their hearts will be relieved from the terror.
So
they said.
Wait a minute. So intercession doesn't profit unless you have received permission to intercede. When
all is all about permission.
Oh, so when at last their hearts will be relieved. So you have to be terrorized before you get permission to pray and ask to ask God for Allah for something.
I mean, it could be.
That's almost what that says. When at last their hearts will be relieved from terror. Receive until, yeah, that's pretty sad.
Does intercession actually mean prayer, or does it actually mean intercession?
Well, Larry, toss up a coin, and whichever side hits, that's the one that will be correct.
Well, if that's intercession, that's a big problem because there's nobody that's supposed to intercede for Allah, right?
Well, my understanding, Allah is the only one who can intercede for you, but then he violates that because I believe Muhammad is going to intercede for people because he's going to be the first one to be resurrected. Now, my question to Muslims is, if Muhammad is going to be the first one to be resurrected, how in the hell did Muhammad speak to, well, Isa, we can say, okay, but how did he speak to Moses and Abraham? They're still dead. They haven't been resurrected yet, unless there's a special now. The prophets don't need to be resurrected, but then that would be a problem because Muhammad has to be resurrected. I mean, Islam is just a mess. If you really start to think, it's a mess.
And this is their clear book. I mean, this is something to think about. And this is why we start laughing and saying, he's compensating because he keeps, when we get towards certain passages, he keeps saying it's clear book, clear book, clear. I mean, and it just,
I may have to create a program to.
If we create a clear Quran, 99% of this would be gone, and we'd be really making Allah look good and being kind to him when he really doesn't deserve any kindness.
What does your Lord say? They said the truth, and he is the high, the big. He's the big kahune. Say, who provides you from the heavens and the earth? Say, Allah. Okay, wait a minute. So,
who's being told to speak here?
Okay, Muhammad, I believe, is being told to say or to ask the question of who provides you from the heavens and the earth. Okay, but then it's not saying that they answered. So now he's asking the question and then he's answering it. Say Allah, and surely we or you are guided or an obvious error.
Whoa.
That doesn't make sense.
I'm sorry. Allah is in obvious error or wow. I'm sorry. It's pretty bold there, right?
Okay. Say, do not ask about our crime, and we will not ask what you do. Who the hell is
what crime?
Is this the infidels? Is this Muhammad?
Do not ask about our crime. And could this be, do not ask about our crime, and we will not ask what. Okay, so even if this is Muhammad, it doesn't mean that's, again, it's just not clear again. This could be the con man language. Now we're back to con man language. Do not ask about what we do, and we won't ask about what you do.
But ain't that the whole job of a prophet, is to tell people what they do wrong?
But Muhammad can't do that. That could be if you don't ask about what I'm doing, I'm not going to tell you what you're doing because, well, I know I'm supposed to be a prophet, but I don't know any better. Yeah.
Okay, 26. Say, our Lord, gather us together, then judge between us with the truth. Surely he is the judge, the knower. Say, I'm getting tired of say. Say, show me those whom you joined with him as partners. Certainly not. Yet he is Allah.
I can do that. I can do that. Allah, you're partnered with Muhammad. You can't survive without him.
I mean, this makes no sense. Muhammad is the messenger to all people. Okay, and we did not send you except to all people a giver of good news and a warner. But wait a minute. Muhammad didn't go to all people because Muhammad never left the Arabian Peninsula.
Yes.
So when Muslims say, well, Jesus only came for the lost sheep of Israel, but Muhammad was for all mankind. How could Muhammad be for all mankind? Because first of all, he only spoke Arabic. He wouldn't be able to communicate with anybody else. Because remember, the messengers only come in the tongue of the people that they're from.
Well, and Jesus had to know Aramaic. He had to know Hebrew. And there's a question about how much Roman he may have actually, Italian he may have actually, or Latin he may have actually known. because he communicated well with them too.
Yeah, I think Latin, he probably not, because that was only used by the Romans for like official business.
Yeah.
Their official language was Greek. So he would have known at least
the Byzantines. Yeah. So he would have been, I mean, I don't have a problem accepting that he knew Greek. Yeah.
Yeah, he would have known, let's say, basic communication, not that he would be fluent in it. But most people do not know. Okay. And they say, when is this promise?
What promise?
If you were truthful.
We don't even know what promise. Oh, wait. He mentioned good news again.
Yeah.
He's got to be talking about torture coming up.
Yeah. Well, today I was listening to a Muslim over on Clubhouse, and apparently he kept asking, where is the Injil? And the guys were trying to say, listen, the Injil are the good news. It's not a book given to Jesus, because in the Quran, Isa's given the book. So he's trying to say, where is the good news? And the guys are trying to say, the good news simply means the message of Jesus, and it's the four Gospels, which talk about his last 3 years of ministry, what he did, and so forth. I mean, these people are so dumb. They're so brainwashed to believe that the Quran is actually accurate that they don't understand. There is no Injil. Jesus did not get a book from heaven. He was the good news. That's what the good news means. But these people are so stupid. Forgive me, God, but they are stupid. Say you have an appointed day, you do not delay from it an hour, and you will not advance. Again, this is googly God. Is any of this making sense to anybody, the stuff that we've read?
No.
Okay.
I wish it would.
Great work. My suggestion should try reading with multiple translations. Oh, man. You know how long it would take for us to finish this thing? If I read different
okay, I won't say that we haven't attempted some of that, because we have today.
There's no way to do this on every single.
I have another translation, no matter what you use. And what you're reading is pretty much the same.
Yeah.
You know, I have another translation, but it's pretty much the same. Usually when I read something, is just Robert explaining something.
Right. If you go to like a website like Islam Awakens, where I pretty much have all these Quran translations, but here I see them all. You can see all the different translations, but dude, sometimes we're lucky if we get 50 verses in 2 hours. If I started reading 2, 3, 4 different translations of every single verse, I'd never get done.
And the problem is they're so different. You can't figure out where you're going.
We don't fall asleep anyway.
What verse are we on now? I'm sorry.
Okay. Believe 31.
All right.
Yeah, 31, because you haven't. Okay. And those who became infidels said, we will not believe in this Quran, nor in the book which is between his hands. Okay. What book is between somebody's hands? I mean, we know it's not the Quran, because it says, we will not believe in this Quran, nor in the book which is between his hands.
We don't even know who he's talking to.
I'm going to go with Muhammad. Okay.
So if you don't trust the book that's in his hands, oh, wow.
Apparently, they don't believe in the. Yeah, but this is a damning verse.
Oh, this is the infidels saying it.
But this is damning, because it's saying that whoever's saying this, which I'm assuming, it's the infidel. So the infidels are saying, hey, we're not going to believe in your Quran, nor in the book which is between his hand. So now we're talking about 2 books. I mean, it would be stupid to say, because you can see that the Quran nor in the book are 2 separate things.
Well, it's worse because the Quran didn't exist at that time.
Yeah. And that's the other problem that I have. When I read Quran, I am thinking a physical book or something that's written that he holds in his hand. You might want to highlight this one, because this is a problem, Paul.
I got to highlight it.
What is this book that supposedly is between somebody's hands? And if you could only see when the unjust will stand before their Lord, returning the saying to one another. Okay, incomplete sentence. What the hell is he talking about?
If you could only see when the unjust will stand before the Lord, returning the saying, we have no clue.
Yeah. You can't abruptly just end the darn thing. What is he talking about? Those who were weakened say to those who are proud, were it not for you, we would not, okay, were it not for you, we would have been believers. Not for who? The messenger?
Okay, so, it's kind of interesting here. It's called, putting the blame on somebody. Because you don't believe you, or because somebody, I mean, it's just putting blame on somebody. It's the blame game. It's your fault. It's all your fault. We would have been believers if it wasn't for you. No, we would have been believers if our brains were that bad and didn't work. Yeah.
I mean, this is just goobly gosh. This is like somebody. I told you, it's like using a shotgun shell full of little BBs or pellets, and you just.
But they don't fit. They don't flow. This is a mess. And again, as Dr. Kufar keeps pointing out, this would never be published anywhere because it's so badly written. But it's just because it's under the color of Islam, I mean, they're afraid of not publishing it.
I mean, forget about publishing. If I turned in the paper written like this,
it's a straight F.
And be told to come back to redo it and come back until it's right. I mean, this is like goobly. Okay, 32. Those who are proud said to those who were weakened. Okay, now let me ask you a question. Why is Allah repeating the same thing that he just said up here? Those who are weakened say to the proud. All he did was reverse. Instead of saying those who are weakened or those who were weakened, now he says those who are proud said to those who are weakened. I mean, are we the ones who prevented you from the guidance after it had come down to you? Yet you were criminals. Who's talking here?
You were the ones.
And those who are, okay, there we go again. And those who are weakened said to those who are proud. Yet the deception of the night and the day when you command us to become infidels in Allah and make him pierced. Who commanded these people to become infidels?
So I want to do this. I want to highlight. You're pointing this out. This proud thing. Again, and those who were weakened said to those who are proud. Again. It's appearing again and again. I mean, this is those who are proud said to it's repeating over and over again. Those who are proud said to those who are weakened. Those who are weakened said to those who are proud. It's. And we still don't know who these people are.
No clue. You have to go to the tafsirs that came 300 plus years after Momo was dead. How can I trust these people? First of all, how do they know what Allah meant to say in his clear and explained and detailed book? Did Allah come to them? Did Jibreel come to them? Because remember, Jibreel can only come down one time because it takes him 1,000 years to go back up. Did I read 33? Oh, yeah. Am I reading this again? Yeah. And those who are weakened said to those who are proud, yet the deception of the night and the day when you command us to become infidels in Allah and make him pierce. And they hid the regret when they saw the torment, and we placed the yokes on the necks of those who became infidel.
Again, more of the blame game.
Okay, and we place, so this is in the present tense, on the necks of those who became infidels, and we placed the yokes.
Remember we talked about, I said good news, and he talked about torture, and they hid the regret when they saw the torment. We're back to, when Allah gets excited, and he thinks it's good news whenever anybody gets tormented.
Will they be rewarded except for what they were doing? Who's asking this question? Clearly, it ain't the infidels. Is this Allah asking? Because if this is Allah,
because Allah doesn't know.
So who's asking?
But again, Allah doesn't know what the word reward means.
But I'm more concerned with who's speaking here.
Yeah.
Is this Muhammad speaking, asking Allah, will they be rewarded except for what they were doing?
Can't tell because it's not clear.
We're
somewhere in between common language and gobbledygook.
And check this out. We did not send a warner to a village except those who live luxuriously. And
so now he's only sending a warner to places where they have money.
So did he only send a warner to village where the people are, living in luxury?
That's a good question. Does Allah only care if you have money?
Okay, so
that'd be a good clubhouse meeting. All about this verse.
So supposedly the people in the village who live luxurious lives said, "We are surely becoming infidels of what you have brought." What?
Because even the rich know better.
Who's bringing what? What is being brought? The Quran, the Injil, the Torah? And they said, "We have more money and children, and we will not be tormented." Okay. Say, surely my Lord expands and measures the provision to whom he wills, but most people do not know. Okay.
Because this is the con man language. So what they're saying is, hey, we've got money. We're not that stupid. Go ahead, torment us. It won't bother us. And then he comes up with this con man language. Surely my Lord it doesn't mean anything.
Say, surely my Lord expands. Okay, 37. And it is not your money nor your children that will bring you closer with us. Who's us? Is Allah an us? I think Allah is an us. Allah's got a partner.
Well, Allah and Muhammad are really, really tight. Maybe he doesn't know that he's
when he's
both.
Saying, it's not your money nor your children that will bring you closer with us. Is he saying with us like in Muhammad and Allah?
Muhammad and Allah. It is not your money nor your children. So if this is Muhammad speaking, and it is not your money nor your children that will bring you closer to to Momo. If Momo's speaking, to Muhammad and his puppet, except those who believed and did good deed. Again, this is the Arabic second language issue.
Yeah.
We don't know if it's good deed or good deeds because that's never consistent.
Well, it would make sense if it said good deeds and did good deeds. Otherwise, they would have to say and did a good deeds.
Well, that's why I say it's Arabic as a second language.
And also, again, we go from doing good deeds to a good deed. We go from heavens to one heaven.
Mm-hmm.
So those will have double of the reward for what they have done.
And again, Allah doesn't understand the concept of reward and punishment. He doesn't know the difference. So we don't know if he's rewarding people or punishing them.
And they and their rooms will be secure. So your rooms are going to have a locked door.
What rooms?
I don't know. Apparently,
whose rooms?
The one that's got the couches and the golden whatever. And those who strive to hinder our verses, they will be brought into the torment.
So Allah's verses, this is the thing to think about. Allah's verses can be hindered. That tells you how little he is. I know it says those who strive to hinder, but to think about it, he's so scared about his verses being hindered that he's threatening torment. Allah's pretty small.
If you sent 1,239.99 messages and all of them was corrupt, you'd be worried about this one being corrupt too.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, basically, out of 124,000, it really sucked. Okay, 39. Surely my Lord expands the provisions to whom he wills of his servants and measures to him And anything you spend, he will replace it. Ooh, Allah's going to replace what you spend. And he is the best of the providers. Now, why is Allah being called the best of the providers?
Because Allah is one of many gods.
That means at least three others besides Allah is a provider or can provide. Now, I know Muslims will say, oh, he's talking about the people, who raise livestock and maybe farm.
No, yes. I mean, it's Allah's statement, or Muhammad's statement that Allah is the best of providers. So who are the others? I mean, you just got to leave it. Did Allah say this or not? If Allah said it and he put it in the plural, are you telling us Allah's a liar?
40 is interesting. And a day he will gather them together. Then he will say to the angels, are those the ones who were serving you? How could people be serving angels? That's very interesting.
Okay, in a day he will gather them together. So if this is Allah gathering them together.
Yeah, but Allah is asking the angels if these people were the ones who were serving them.
Are those So who's serving the angels?
The people that he gathered up together.
That's really confusing.
Yeah, because he says, and a day he will gather them together. Then he will say to the angels. I'm sorry?
He's talking about the other providers, I think.
Are the angels supposed to be the other providers?
No, and a day he will gather the other providers together. Then he will say to the angels, are those providers the ones who are serving you? Maybe.
Okay, that actually makes sense, believe it or not. If we look at it that way, that's more clear than what's written here. And so the other providers are gathered together, and he says to the angels, are you serving those other gods? Because this would be a statement that Allah doesn't even know what his angels do.
Apparently not. And how would anybody be serving the angels? Because the angels aren't allowed to come down without the permission
who is
of
it
Allah.
that doesn't get a choice? Is it the angels or the jinn?
Well, actually, nobody gets a choice. Everything that was created between the heavens and the earth are obedient to Allah. But unfortunately, that's not true because we saw Iblis gave Allah the finger.
Yeah, that's right. And he was right because he didn't
Adam and Eve gave Allah the finger because they ate from the tree that Allah said don't eat. They said, praise be to you. You are our friend without them. Yet they were serving the jinn. And most of them were believers in them.
So now we're back. Okay. So maybe if we look at this with what Darcy said, we have other gods serving the jinn. Wow. This is really a statement of belief in polytheism.
Yeah, this is kind of problematic, dear Mr. Allah. Okay, they said, right, okay, so today none of you possess, profit or harm to another. Nonsensical. And we will say to those who are unjust, taste the torment of the fire, which you were denying it. Okay. Some believe that the Quran was a lie and was written through sorcery. I mean, could be sorcery. And when our clear verses were recited to them, Allah, where are your clear verses? I get a headache every time I read this book. They said, this is not but a man who would desire to prevent you away. Who would desire to prevent you away? Well, this is not but a man who would desire to prevent you away. Okay, that second language is killing me. Prevent you away from what your father served.
This is not.
I mean, Allah, you could have just said
Allah,
prevent you from what your fathers were doing.
Mention your verses are clear. They're not clear. I'm still waiting for clear verses.
I mean, it would have sufficed to just say, this is not but a man who would desire to prevent you from what your father served. Why you got to throw that away in there and mess me up?
This is not, I mean, it.
And they said, this is not but a forged lie. And those who became infidels said to the truth when it came to them, this is nothing but an obvious sorcery. Yeah, I mean, Muhammad was affected by black magic. And we have not brought them any books to study, and we did not send a warner to them before you. That makes no sense. So no books existed at that time until Muhammad came. Okay.
You want me to believe that one? I mean, apparently.
But if Muhammad is the first prophet to the Arabs, what happened to those other three clearly Arab prophets? You know, the one that was sent to the one that was sent to Tammuz.
And they were supposed to have books, weren't they?
Huh? Yeah.
Didn't they get books too?
Yeah.
So they don't exist. It's, yeah.
No. And those who were before them denied, not even receiving a 10th part of what we had given to them.
We don't know what whoever gave something and who them is.
And
whoever we is there. We don't even know who the we is. We don't know if this is God or
so they denied
Muhammad and Allah, which is what it probably is.
Right. So they denied my messengers. So how is my repudiation? I don't know. Why are you asking me?
Allah doesn't know. This is the God of perhaps. He has to ask this question. How well did I rebuke them and put them in their place? Yeah.
Say, surely I only preach you one thing.
Wait. So he asked the question, then he tells them what to say.
This is stupid here. This is stupid here.
This is Allah speaking in the third person.
Surely I only preach you one thing, that you would stand up for Allah by twos and individually. What? Then you think what is in your companion is of the jinn, that he is only a warner to you between the hands of a severe torment.
So I want you to imagine you're listening to this kind of a conversation. You have Muhammad out there, and he's saying one thing, and he answers the question himself. Say, how was my repudiation? Well, surely I only preached that one thing, that you would stand up for Allah by twos an individual. Well, excuse me, why are you talking to yourself? That's almost what you just have here.
And what exactly does Allah mean by twos and individually?
You can't. This
I mean,
is
if
where
you go
Allah
to a
doesn't
mosque,
make
you got a
sense
whole bunch of
consistently.
people stand. Okay, who would stand? So that means everybody was sitting. Okay, 47. Because I think.
Wait, I got to interject here, Paul. That was a great interpretation of Allah. You don't see me take my shahada. I'm just saying. Go ahead.
All right, we're almost done with this.
Can we go back to 44 and 45 real quick? So 44 says something about that they never sent a warner or any books before to study. Is that correct?
Yes.
So then it comes down to the end of 45. It says, so they denied my messengers. Does that make sense? Or am I missing something here?
Well, actually, that's even worse, because the messengers are not prophets. Messengers confirm the words of the prophets. So it actually says he sent. So if he sent other people, then he sent people to confirm the words of the prophet. So he's not only, yeah, that's quite a statement. It's saying he doesn't know his words in verse 44, 40. Sorry, say this right. They denied my messengers. That's in 45. All right.
Yeah, and those
45 implies that. Let's say he sent three people. That means he sent 6 people at the very least, or maybe if we get at least 4. Because if we're saying prophets can be messengers, we're allowing that, which the Quran says no to. But wow, I mean,
but what would they be confirming? There's no book to confirm, correct?
Well, that's the point. I mean, he's saying this is the law. This is the big thing that we got to keep looking at. The law of non-contradiction keeps getting thrown out the window in the Quran. I believe this and then believe the opposite. You have to believe both at the same time. And this is why you have Muslims who will say they believe one thing and believe another thing at the exact same time. This is where, and honestly think when they talk about the followers of Islam being mentally ill, it's because of this practice within the Quran of the law of believing contradictory things at the same time. It actually causes mental illness. And that's why I think, you'll see when they're in Europe, whenever they catch a Muslim doing a crime, they'll say, I mean, if he's doing an act of terrorism, he's mentally ill. Well, he follows this Quran that practices the law of non-contradiction as a regular statement. I mean, it I should say violates the law of non-contradiction constantly, telling you to hold contradictory beliefs at the same time. The brain is not allowed to do that. Your mind, your being is not allowed to accept this. So if you do these two things, you violate the laws of logic, and yeah, this is where I think a lot of this mental illness comes from.
Hey, we didn't have any Muslims today, man. What's up with that? All right, 47, because we only have 8 more verses to go. Say, I did not ask a wage of you, so keep it for yourselves. My wage is only from Allah, and he is a witness over all things.
Wait a minute. I mean, isn't this the guy who wants things like jizya? And so he wants wages from other people. Is this, well, no, wait, sorry. Yeah, jizya probably hasn't been said yet. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, we passed jizya a long time ago. That was 929. Which is at the end of the book, but somehow it made it to chapter 9.
So if we're just, let's just pretend we didn't know that. And you're like, wait a minute, that's not what it said earlier. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Okay. 48. Say, surely my Lord casts with the truth. Casts what? Okay.
Here's a problem.
Is he like what do you call it? Those movie directors where he's casting?
No, this is worse.
Oh.
This is saying he puts things in that aren't true.
Okay.
So he's putting the truth is out there, and he puts things in there. He's sowing the tares with the wheat.
Yeah, kind of like Satan did with Muhammad when he was, the satanic verses. He threw it in there.
That's quite a statement.
Surely my, surely my Lord casts with the truth. He is the knower of the unseen. Say, oh my God, they should really name this chapter the chapter of say. The truth came, and vanity cannot begin and cannot repeat. What the hell does that even mean?
Truth came.
Say.
I mean, that's too much. I'm sorry, that's too much credit to say. And it's taking away the apostle. Well, here's the truth: when you commit an act of vanity, we can look at Barack Hussein Obama. He has I really believe he has NPD, narcissistic personality disorder. A person with NPD has extreme vanity. They can't move themselves physically away from a mirror. The mirror has to be moved. So this was problematic for Obama because there were a lot of mirrors in the White House. And you would see him constantly looking in the mirror, preening himself, making himself look pretty, and someone would have to physically move him. Yeah. Vanity gets repeated. So, I mean, this is a statement of ignorance.
50. Say, if I have gone astray, so surely I only have gone astray against myself. And if I am guided, so it is because of what my Lord has revealed to me.
So
surely
basically,
he is hearing near.
Hang on 1 second. Sorry. So basically, Muhammad's saying that he has basically gone astray.
If I have gone astray, so surely I've only. Oh, this is really bad. If I have gone astray, so surely I've only gone astray against myself. And if I am guided, so it is because of what my Lord revealed to me. Surely he is hearing. I think.
Now, how does that make sense? Surely he is hearing near. What kind of crap is that? He's only hearing
I
near.
think I think these statements are just. He has to say something at the end. That's right. I think he doesn't know. He doesn't need to say that.
All right. And if you see when they were terrified, so there is no escape. And they were taken from a near place. We don't know what that place is, Allah. And they said, we believed in it. Believed in what? And how can they reach from a faraway place? How can they reach what?
That's the point. Reach what? What are they trying to get to?
And indeed, they become infidels in it before. No, it's became infidels in it before. Oh my God. And they will cast with the unseen from a far place.
So just emphasize that Arabic as a second language. They don't understand.
I don't even think it's a second language. This looks like maybe a third, because I mean you can't.
Well, I'm not disagreeing with you, because
I mean you can't
of all the other words that are in there.
I mean, every now and then I might make a few mistakes, but this, I mean, this is like
I think whoever wrote this started when he just not long after he started to learn Arabic.
I mean, could be. This is showing that Allah is inside Mo. I mean, your guess is as good as mine, Andrew. Oh, seriously, man, you got to do this. I'm gonna have to buy me a bottle of whiskey or something, and have a couple shots before I read this, because man. Okay, where are we? 53. All right.
I think we're at 54.
No, 54. Right. And it was separated between them and what they lust for, as it was done to their company before. Surely they were in severe doubt.
It doesn't make any
separated? Sense. Were they separated?
There are a lot of lust going on in this book. I mean, and they have a lot of sex in this book, but it was separated between them and what they lust for. So if we're talking about lust, to them, it's not for money. I'm sorry, it's for ladies. It was separated between them and what they lust for. We don't know what's separated. I mean, they're being kept from something that they lust for. Could this be about they're asking if they should enjoy their captives? I mean, I thought we already addressed that in here, but I don't know.
Sharon says we need to let some of our IQ points go take a nap. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we are done with this chapter. Paul, please bring it up to the chapter title, so if I forget, I can go back to the video. This should be a really good chapter. Starts off really good. The chapter 35, the Creator. So, wow, we only need, 79 chapters. And we'll be done. And yeah, we should be done quickly, because all these other chapters are small, except I think one, maybe two.
This is just sad. I'm sorry. The lack of clarity. And yes, the IQ points are falling, because when you read this and you realize how much gobbledygook there is, you just got to sit there. I mean, I can get where some Muslims would listen to us and say we're horrible people, but my question is, why don't you read it and see if we're telling you the truth? I mean, this is the one thing I tell Muslims to do. Go read your Quran.
Yeah,
because if you really believe it, you should at least know it.
We are horrible people. We're torturing ourselves so that maybe they can get the message that Allah's Quran is a joke.
I thought that they weren't supposed to read it unless it's in Arabic, and most Muslims don't know Arabic.
Well, that's the point. That's where their God is too small to communicate clearly in any language. So the idea is to keep the knowledge secret. And what happens, I think, which is the silliest thing, they learn how to bang their heads on the ground, and then they're told, "Well, this is in the scriptures." It's not. It's not. It's not. Banging your head on the ground is not in the Quran. It is not in the Hadith. It's in the Sharia. Oh.
My understanding is that you have to say the prayers in Arabic.
Mm-hmm.
You can read the Quran and, let's say, a translation, whatever language that you have. But then they'll tell you, but if you really, really, really want to understand,
they don't. All the Muslims I run into, they say they don't allow you to. They say you're not allowed to read it in a non. It has to be Arabic, is what they're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you read a translated copy of it, they'll say, "Oh, you're getting it wrong because of the translation."
Yeah,
but here's the point. I mean, I like that we can compare Usama's translation to a place that's actually run by Muslims that has a word for word, and think about that. And this is proving Usama's translation pretty much to 100% accurate. I would say 97, 98%. Pretty. It's incredible.
Yeah.
I don't think there's. The little things that we talk about that have been different have been so non-important. There's nothing. I know he's coming out with a new update. I'm waiting to see that. That'll be exciting.
Yeah, I'd like to see what that one is. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, all those that were in the chat, thank you very much. Yes, thank you for losing your brain cells to support the show. Hopefully I'll do one tomorrow. It depends how my day goes. Unless Paul wants to take over. I'm not 100% sure, but I'll let
I can help tomorrow.
Huh?
You need help.
Okay. Yeah, so thank you very much. I'll see you guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Well, I'm pretty sure if you're in the chat, you're already a subscriber. But tell your Muslim buddies, because this is for them. This is not for me. I'm torturing myself reading this disjointed, incoherent book. And on that note, let's. I had an exit. I think it's in this computer. Let me see. No, maybe it is. Okay, file, USB drive. Okay. Oh no, it's in the other computer. It's in my.
That's all right.
It's in my video files. Okay. All righty. I'll put it on the new laptop. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. See you again. Hopefully tomorrow. We'll come back again and lose a few more brain cells. So please go and relax. Let your brain cells regenerate so you can lose them again. Because I got a feeling this one's going to be doozy. Because if you see, praise be to Allah, the creator of the heavens and the earth, who made the angels messengers with substantial wings, 2 and 3 and 4. How do you have an angel with 3 wings? What does he got? He's got one in the middle of his, he's got one in the middle of the back. And how come Jabril has 600 wings?
Dragonfly.
Yeah,
they're like dragonflies.
This is like 2 or 3. Okay, so that means Jabril violated Allah's rule because Jabril has 600. So, all righty, let's end the broadcast. Thank you very much. I'll see you again. Now I'm going to eat my almost burnt meatloaf.